And we're going live. It sometimes starts before it tells me we are live. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm teacher Kasie and I am here with my friend teacher Angela. Hey.
Hello.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I had a long day of teaching. This is my night because I'm in Australia, so it's 10 p.m.
Oh, that's right. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your story. So
Yeah, no worries.
super excited for that. How many classes did you have today?
Um, Today I had 8, but tomorrow I have 12, so it's like
Okay.
around that range.
Yeah, I used to do overnights and then I would have just like 10 in a row. And then I was like, I cut back, cut back, cut back. Now I'm like, five or 4 or 5 every day.
Yeah, I would try to do like 6 for a little while, but I'm trying to maybe save a little extra money as I'm increasing. But that speaking course, the new speaking course
Yeah.
has skyrocketed my bookings.
Yes, we're going to talk about that on Monday on here. Hey, you're welcome to come. Oh, it's in the middle of the night, your time. I was going to say at 3 o'clock Eastern on Monday, we're going to talk about the difference between the speaking course and then the public speaking supplementary
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So man, it's in the middle of the night, but you can watch the replay if you want. I was gonna say you could come on and chat with the collaboration team, but
Yeah.
so super fun. All right. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. I see we have a couple of people here. Let us know where you're from and how many classes did you have this morning? Angela, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Angela. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been teaching since 2012, and I've moved around Asia essentially since then. So been
Wow.
from away from the US for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, we did the same thing. We were away for 17. I just came back. So, and where are you now?
I'm in Australia, in Perth, West Australia.
Do you know that's my dream place? I just want to go visit Australia and see everything. And oh, I haven't made it there yet, but I will.
Hmm.
Awesome. So, what brought you to Australia?
Initially, it was just to test the waters because I had been in Asia for around 7 years,
Hmm.
and I was thinking about going back to the US, but I wasn't sure how it adapt with the cultural differences going back to the Western world. So I figured Australia's kind of still in the neighborhood. I
Yeah.
can test it out here. And then I got kind of comfortable. So
Yeah.
I've stuck around for this is now about 2 years I've been here.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about Australia? Maybe some of your favorite or unknown things?
I haven't traveled much of Australia. That's something that I would like to do in the future, but I either didn't have time or didn't have money to travel.
Yeah.
So I have only really been in West Australia this whole
Hmm.
time. But like naturally, it's beautiful. Their winters are not that cold.
Nice.
It's winter now, but it's mostly rainy,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah.
not too bad, I guess.
So, how did they handle COVID? Like, I haven't heard anything about Australia.
Amazing.
Wow.
It is state by state. So West Australia has definitely been better at handling it than some other states in Australia.
Yeah.
Um, but they locked the borders, I guess, March last year. And
Hmm.
international borders, as far as I know, they're still not open. So they're controlling the virus that way by not letting anyone in. And they even close state to state travel, unless you're in a business or whatever,
Yeah.
until I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months
Wow.
ago. So we've had a very good handle on it. We went into lockdown initially for 2 months ish,
Hmm.
give or take, and then went back to normal through different phases. We had about 5 phases of reopening, and
Okay.
then yeah, so we've been pretty much normal. Like we can go to any place. We don't have to wear masks. We don't have to worry about anything except for like logging in. If we go in, we have a an app. You have to
Yeah.
sign in to show that you're there. Because
Oh,
we've
okay.
had this year, we've had 3 lockdowns, but they were only for like max a week at a time.
Right.
And they would track that through the app,
Oh,
basically.
wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so it's been good.
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie said, hello. I had 5 classes today during Elsa. I was sweating all morning, but didn't lose power. Thank goodness. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't. I'm on the other side. So we were expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain, but so far haven't had any. And is it Lukman? I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Hello. Thanks for
Luke,
joining us.
yeah. It's
Did
my
I say it
friend Luke.
right?
Yeah, Luke.
Oh, okay, Luke. Thanks for coming. Feel free to leave questions in the comments in the chat box, and we'll take a look at them in just a little bit. So, okay, I have my questions here, and the chat box is over here, so that's why I keep looking around everywhere.
That's all right.
um, we said you haven't been able to travel very much, but we saw some pictures of you with the animals. Where did you see them?
And that was at like a natural wildlife park or something. That was when I was very new to Australia. That was probably the first. Well, I did around 6 weeks in the wheat belt, so like their sort of outback area,
Mm-hmm.
which was very interesting. And then I
Yeah,
came to Perth 6 weeks later or so. And then when I came to Perth, I went to see, yeah, some of those animals. Pretty
nice.
cool.
Oh, I love animals.
Yeah, it's
So,
amazing because some of the kangaroos and stuff are tame. Like you can actually pet them, you can feed them, you can hang out with them. There's a
oh, nice.
park near my house where you can go and feed them and hang out with them while you eat lunch.
Oh, I would totally go do it. Like, you know where to find me if you need me.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting with the kangaroos all day.
Yeah.
um, so did you teach while you were, oh, you must have then, because the dates. You taught while you were in Asia as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
I
taught
started,
English too in Asia.
okay, where were you at?
We were at Yokota. Well, we were at, about a couple hours from Tokyo for 5 years, and then way up north for 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah, we were in Japan for 7 years, and then we were in Germany for 10.
Awesome.
Yes.
What do you
So,
prefer between those two?
oh, that is so hard.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
they're totally different because even the cultures, I always tell people like Germany is so green because it rains a lot. Some people are like, it's so rainy. I'm like, but that's why it's so green,
Yeah.
you know? And some people say they're not as friendly, but once you're friends with them, you're friends.
hmm
So yeah, that's a hard one. I can't. Wherever they would send me, I would be happy to go.
Yeah. I shouldn't even ask because I hate being asked that question too.
All
It's
right,
so
well,
hard to
put it back
decide.
on you. What do you think?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I've lived in Asia I did 7 years in Asia, like mostly teaching while I was there because I needed to obviously earn some money.
Right.
But I traveled to a lot of pretty much all of East Asia, as far as I know, except for Laos and China. I actually haven't been to China.
Okay.
All my
I
students now
haven't
are
been there
from
yet.
China. Yeah.
So speaking of China, we both work for VIP Kid. How long have you been working with them?
Since April of last year.
Oh, okay. So I'm just I think I'm finishing up my second year now.
Okay.
So
Around the
um
same time.
yeah, what was your why for starting with VIP Kid?
Sorry?
What was your why? Why did you decide to start teaching for VIP Kid?
I initially started when we went into that first lockdown in Australia. So I had
Um,
all the time on my hands. I'm also in Beijing time zone, so it's easy for
yeah.
me to work all day and get a lot of bookings if I want them,
Yeah, a little jealous
depending
on
on,
that.
yeah. But yeah, so because I have the teaching background, I try to move away from teaching. I'm not, I don't know, teaching English, I think it's not my calling. It's not what I want to
Okay.
do long term. But I have that background, so it was
Yeah.
something I could do while we were in lockdown.
So do you want to share what you do want to do?
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't really know.
I hear
I
you.
think I've narrowed it down into categories. Like, I love working with children. I get along well with them. They feel comfortable with me. I enjoy engaging with them in any scenario.
Hmm.
And I don't mind the one-on-one stuff. So I learn new things every time I do a new teaching job. I
Yeah.
learn different things that I like about myself and that sort of role. And Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd like to work with kids, perhaps, I mean, pipe dream type stuff, like in a therapy setting
Okay.
to help
Yeah.
with just sorting through traumas and
Okay.
difficulties in their own lives. But
Yeah.
that would require a lot of school that I'm not really prepared for. So that's the
Yeah.
problem with that.
Yeah. The psychology classes were a lot, at least for me. I was like, this is a whole lot of reading for
Yeah.
someone who doesn't like to read so much.
And it's expensive.
Yeah, well, actually, my school, I don't know if they have that degree, but I went through WGU and it was all online and you only pay per semester. So, like, I
Okay.
graduated my master's in 7 months, so I only had to pay one semester and a little bit more. So that was pretty helpful. I
What is
did
WDU? Did you
Western
say?
Governors University.
Where's that based?
It's based out of Utah, I believe, but I did it all
Okay.
online. I started while I was in Japan because I needed an online school. And back then, online schooling wasn't as known as it is now, you know?
Yeah.
So everyone's like, make sure it's accredited. But that's how I got my bachelor's and my master's through them.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Stephanie said, I've gotten to pet kangaroos and I'm allergic, believe it or not. My eyes are so swollen. I was sad. Oh.
Mm.
And Meredith said, hello, hello, Meredith. Are you back from vacation? I love the chat box. I love like
Is that to
talking to
me or to
everybody.
you?
What's that?
Is that question to me or to you?
What's that?
The vacation.
Oh,
I
I
don't
was
know.
sorry. I was asking Meredith if she was back from vacation.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, are
I
you
think I
on
was on
vacation?
vacation.
You're like
No, I'm not.
in a whole 3 year vacation, 2 year vacation.
Yeah,
Any
something
plans
like
to
that.
come back this way?
I don't know.
That's the way
Maybe.
I was too.
I think I'm worried that if I go back, I'll be stuck and I won't be able to leave, which
Mhm.
I know is not, if I really think about it, it's not true because
Right.
I have moved so many times in my life that
Yeah.
I can pick up and go. But
Yeah. But I
it's the
get it.
fear.
Yeah, I understand because you kind of get comfortable. And it's like, oh, next time, next time, next time, later, later, later.
Because
Yeah.
it's home, it feels different, I think. In my
Yeah.
mind, anyway.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm still reading the chat. So, oh, I'm so excited to meet you. Like, finally, that my mind is like, oh. So how do you ensure like internet overseas? Do you ever worry about that any more than we worry about it here?
Because I've only been teaching from Australia, I don't. It's always been fun. I have moved my teaching location a couple of different times, and it's
Yeah.
always been fine. I think the internet's pretty good here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't tried it around Asia, so I don't know. I don't worry about it though.
Yeah. That's one of the questions we get on here the most because in other countries it's really difficult. So, like, what do you use? What kind of devices do you use? So,
Yeah.
Meredith said she's only home for a few days and then leaving again for a couple weeks. Iowa and then Key Largo. Oh, have fun. You're going to get that song stuck in my head, Meredith. So, do you teach for any other companies?
I don't. Looked at GoGo Kid at one point when my bookings weren't great with
Yeah.
VIP Kid. The last, I don't know, month or so when they're going through exams and everything.
Right.
But I didn't end up finishing that application process. And now with this speaking course, I'm getting more bookings than I actually want. So it's fine, I think.
Yeah, everybody's been posting about that new course having tons of bookings. So I did certify for it and I only had 3 classes left for the frenzy that they could book and they filled up. So that was kind of nice. So
I've had like probably like 6 to 8 cancellations for next week and they've
yeah,
already been booked. Sometimes 10 minutes later. So
right.
it's really
Yeah.
filling up my schedule.
I had that last night too. I was like, oh, somebody canceled. And then just a little while later, oh, somebody took that slot already. So yeah, that's been interesting seeing that one go. Do you have a favorite level or favorite course, supplementary course, something?
So with teaching for my previous jobs, I have taught from pretty much kindergarten to adult business
Mm-hmm.
English and everything in between. And I have found in that that I prefer sort of, I don't know, a 5 to 8 year olds
Yeah,
sort of level. So
that's
I
my
like
jam.
level 2 a lot. I like level 3 students. I don't like the curriculum for level
Yeah,
3. I don't think it's very interesting, and I sometimes it's quite hard to teach.
yeah.
But that age group I like. But
And
I'm
actually,
getting,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead. Sorry.
So I was last year getting mostly like level 2, level 3 young kids, which was great. But now I took a 6 months break, and then I've been back and I've gotten more for a little bit of 5, 6, and 7, and some of those are also pretty interesting too.
Wow. I've only taught 1-7. And I'm just kind of like,
They're really hard to come by. Apparently, the students or the parents can't book those. The LP has to book those.
yeah.
You
I
can't
know,
have like a regular.
yeah, Cindy has one student every week, I think. She comes on here a lot too. So Stephanie says she has 22 this week. You have 22 speaking classes this week? Hey Giselle, thanks for coming. Have you taught the speaking ones already, or they're just booked ahead of time?
No, I've taught a few. I've taught the dining out, the travel. I think just the 2 of those, but couple different levels, so they're all different classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't taught any yet, but I have them booked on my schedule for next week. So my first one is eating abroad. And it reminds me of when I was teaching in Japan because it was all conversational English like that. So I
hmm
think I'm going to enjoy them.
They're really fun, actually. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
them.
Oh, good. She said yes, 22 speaking classes. Awesome, Stephanie. She's a brick and mortar teacher too. So I think she's off for the summer. So, and Giselle's channel, she has like doodling and art. So that's a fun channel too. Oh, Stephanie said, I like them. I have taught 11 so far.
Yeah,
Oh, you
they're
guys are
cool.
rocking it. Stephanie, you need to come on Monday if you have a chance. Come help me explain it to people. Okay,
They're
let's see. I have more
extension
questions.
heavy, but they're extension heavy, but they are fun. Because I
Like,
don't mind extension.
yeah, like you need to extend a lot for them.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I like to talk.
hmm
I think I'll be all right. Let's see. What was your Wow, you must have read that question like, what in the world? What was your wife from? I did that was supposed
Yeah,
to say why.
I wasn't sure. I was like, is that a yeah, I didn't know what that meant.
I sent that to a bunch of people. You should have just messaged me.
I was
I
like,
had
I'll
a
figure it
typo, guys.
out.
So, do you have a funny story or favorite teaching moment?
So many. Like I don't know if I can recall all of them, but I had one even today. So I have a student in level 6 who is on the rock cycle. She's an artist. She likes art. She likes English. She likes Chinese. She doesn't care about science or math. And so
Right.
we've gone through the whole first half of that unit going through the rock cycle, and I know she doesn't like it. But she's super smart. She's lived in the US, so she's got a good English.
Yeah.
She works with me through it. And just before she was to finish the rock cycle, I went to look up to see what was coming next because I wanted to give her good news. Like
Yeah.
we're leaving the rock cycle. I looked it up and it's soil.
Oh,
Soil's second half. So I came into class and I was like, so I have good and bad news for you. Good news is we're finishing the rock cycle.
yay.
Yay! But we're gonna study soil. And we both just had this moment of like cracking up in class. And even today we had our first class for the soil unit. And one of the questions on the slide was about like it said the very first conversational slide said, have you ever seen soil before? And she just like was obviously.
Yeah. Is
So
that
we
a trick
both
question?
we both just laughed about like how that's part of the curriculum. So
Yeah.
things like that, like yeah,
That's kind of funny. So, what
yeah.
level is that?
That's level 6.
Oh, that's why I haven't taught it. I haven't taught very many sixes either. And I love, okay, I'm a science nut. So
Well,
you
you
guys
would
can have
probably
all the
like it.
art.
I honestly have to look this stuff up. Today I taught a word I had never seen before. It's
Yeah.
humus. Humus. Do you know
Uh-huh.
that? The top layer of the soil. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
do they mean but when I looked at the keywords on the side, I was like, does that mean hummus
Right.
or what is that? I had to look up the pronunciation because I've never seen that word before. So I
Yeah.
am constantly in those kind of classes like looking things up myself because I'm not even sure.
Yeah. The hardest part for me is English grammar. There's
And
I don't
that.
I don't speak correctly half the time. I don't write correctly, apparently. Well, that's not true. It's the names and the rules behind it. Like, when you form a sentence, you've done it so many times, it just comes out that way. But I don't know
Hmm.
why we say it that way sometimes. So I
Hmm.
always have to look ahead and look at my slides to see what grammar is going to be there.
How long have you been teaching now?
Well, I was a brick and mortar teacher for 10 years, and I've been with VIP Kid for, I think I'm finishing up my second year. I think August 31st will start my new contract or
Okay.
end this contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 19, 20, 20. Yeah. So I'm finishing up my second year. Wow.
Yeah.
That seems pretty quick. Giselle said she's resting while she listens to us. Oh, thanks, Giselle. She has a good schedule close to China. Hey, her name is Angela. That's my first name. Oh, we always call her Giselle, but her first name is Angela. So,
Oh, okay.
well, thanks for coming. Glad you're getting some rest. She's got a busy schedule too. So, awesome. So, what else can you tell us about Australia or VIP Kid?
Um,
Trick questions over
uh,
here. I didn't write these
yeah.
down for her.
I don't know. In Australia, like because I lived in Asia and sometimes like countries that I can't find things that I like brands, for example, that I
Oh,
know or
yeah.
that I like. Australia's been nice for me because it's back to one, everyone speaks English, and
Right.
two, I can find things that I recognize from home maybe
Hmm.
a little bit easier, but it really is dependent on where you are.
Right. That's
Um,
pretty cool.
yeah.
We were just talking about that last night. Like, my first trip to Japan, I was a little bit nervous because of the food. And I'm not a very picky eater, but I had a hard time my first month there. I was like, okay, we're safe with Denny's, right?
Yeah.
Right? Denny's. I went there and it was like rice and, no omelets, no eggs and stuff. And I was like, it's going to be a tough trip, but it ended up being amazing. So
Yeah.
Stephanie said, I'm with you, Kasie. I have to study grammar as well. Math and science girl here. Yeah. Yeah, math and science, I've been fortunate. They come pretty easily to me, but ooh,
Well, the thing
English
with
so
grammar
hard.
is like I feel like I've already mastered a bunch of different things in grammar, but then I keep finding something new that I
Yeah.
I encounter in the class. I'm like, okay, yeah, I actually don't know how to explain that either.
Yeah.
It just there's so much. Like once you
Mhm.
encounter it, then you realize that this is more complex than you thought as well.
Yeah. I don't retain it a lot of times, some of the grammar, the rules, I guess. So hey,
Yeah.
we have 7 people here. Hello, say hello in the chat. Let us know who's here. If you don't mind, if you can give us a thumbs up. I always forget to say that, so I try when I remember to say it. Let's see. So if you have any questions for Angela, let us know. You can put them in the chat as well. Are you a coffee drinker? Tea?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Coffee. All
I
day, every day.
I prefer coffee at the start of the day, but through the day I'll have some tea.
Yeah, I can drink coffee and go to bed. Obviously, you can probably tell I'm ADHD, so staying on topic, I probably should have warned you when we were like writing back and forth, like, hey, I jumped
I'm
topic.
ADHD.
Yeah, you can pretty much tell. Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming. Kathy, what are you doing while listening? She usually says, well, I'm doing laundry or cleaning the house while she listens. So super cool. Angela, well, I know you've got to get to bed. It's like what, 10:30 there now?
Yes,
Well, thank you so
around there.
much for coming and letting us know a little bit about Australia and your journey on teaching abroad. So I appreciate that. And
No
anytime you
worries.
want to come back and hang out with us, let me know.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Angela. Thank you, everyone in the chat. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.